There's triangles everywhere.
Current temperature out here is like 32 degrees, so with wind chill, that makes it like -10.
Alright guys, in our last video in this series, we took our #1 fan Jeff on his bucket list trail, Walden's Ridge. He did great all day long, but at the very end of the day, he made one minor mistake and rolled his rig. Today, we're going to sneak up on him, surprise him, pick up his Jeep, drive it home, and get it fixed. Check this out. Alright Jeff, that is pretty bad, but you're in luck. Josh and I came prepared. We're going to drive this home for you and get it taken care of.
I can't believe it. I'm so lucky. Please don't get in a ticket or anything.
Can you hear me? Is this thing working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's working good.
All right.
Do you know the lingo for NASA?
10-4.
I don't think they say 10-4.
We're headed to the pickle park.
Let's get on the road. We only have a couple hours before dark and it is supposed to rain here shortly.
Ready? Steady. Break.
Okay, so we just were going up a hill and the transmission was not happy, jerking a little bit. When Jeff rolled over, it was leaking transmission fluid really bad. I don't know if we ever topped it off. And Josh is going live.
Yep, we're live.
On what?
Facebook.
BleepinJeep or?
BleepinJeep.
Oh.
On your mark.
Yes, sir.
Current temperature out here is like 32 degrees, so with wind chill, 60-mile-an-hour winds, that makes it like -10.
Don't worry, it's only 3 hours. We'll be fine. We are getting a little bit of raindrops from the wind chill, not a lot.
Yeah,
Big rain cloud up ahead of us there.
we're 10 minutes into this.
Only 3 hours to go. Woo! You know what's awesome about this trip? We didn't even have to pay for this rental. We just stole it. Should we go right or should we go left? That way goes to the prison. That way
To my house.
It says we don't have any service.
They should still tell you. It's saying to go straight.
Straight?
Straight. 1 hour, 13 minutes.
At some point, I'm gonna have to get rid of these goggles because they're tinted. It would be really cool to build one day as a Jeep that'll drive on the railroad, and we could explore some of these railroad tracks out here, abandoned railroad tracks.
That would be pretty cool. Look, Bigfoot.
Oh.
Sunday at 6 o'clock.
Is that today? No, that's today's Monday. We were about to go to church right there. Oh, look at this. Josh, why do I feel rain on my face?
It's getting wet here.
Oh, check this out. Right here is Devil's Elbow. How mad do you think he would be if we went and did Devil's Elbow in his Jeep?
As long as we filmed it, I don't think he'd care all that much.
It's already rolled. I mean, what's another roll gonna do to it? Okay, let's go. Freezing my can. I think it's time to put on more clothes.
Yeah, I think once you hit 50 miles an hour, it starts to get cold quick.
Yeah. I think you're gonna like it. This is what I got for you. Right there. And then I got you a scarf too.
All right.
Got you a scarf there.
Oh, it's got built-in mittens.
There's some gloves. Very good. What a fun adventure.
We're there.
Just when we thought we were getting this place cleaned up. Nope, not today. Special announcement, this is the Holy Grail tee. You can only get it right now or at the off-road games. So if you're not going to be at the off-road games, go buy this right now on our website, BleepinJeep.com. Back to your regularly scheduled program.
The whole front of the Jeep is leaning.
All right, guys, we got this thing back in the shop, and it's been a few days while we've been looking at it, studying it, figuring out what we need to do. Josh just said, what?
I said the whole front of the Jeep is leaning.
Oh, I think it just looks that way.
I mean, it's definitely leaning.
I think the main issue is right here. This whole top is kind of crushed down. This door is pushed out. The edge right here, the drip rail, oh, it's sticky. It's pushed in there. So we're definitely gonna need a new door. Definitely gonna need a new windshield. Definitely gonna have to push that up. And this door seems okay. What do you think about that door?
It's bent back where the hinges attach.
Do you think it's the hinges or the door?
I don't know.
I would assume the hinges.
We have a door, so.
We've got two doors, so one driver, one passenger. They're not the same color though, that's the only issue. So we're gonna have to paint. We've got a porta power, we've got a stud welder kit, and that's all fine and dandy, but if the suspension is whacked, we're gonna have to figure out what's going on there.
That may have been like that before.
Maybe he's just got a leaf spring that's a little off. Or maybe it's just your mind playing tricks on you.
No, if you ignore all that up there, it's leaning.
It is spooled in the rear though. We might have brought it in at in a turn. So if you have a rear locker that's locked, or if you have a spool in the rear and you come in at a turn, that binds the suspension up and it'll look like it's tilted. All right, let's get started. All right, Josh, you are the body expert. What's our first step here?
So, given that we don't have a frame machine, we're gonna have to make do with trees and winches.
I have trees.
And we have winches.
Yes.
That one we need to pull up and out, but at the same time we need to anchor this side. As that's pulling up and out, we're gonna tap down right here, and that's gonna kind of straighten that out, and we'll work on getting that side.
How are we gonna tap down?
With a hammer.
You said anchor it, and then you said tap it.
Yeah, we're gonna anchor it over here. Pull, so when we're pulling that way, it's not just pulling the whole top of the Jeep over sideways.
So this reminds me of when we messed with your truck.
Yes.
Is that the same kind of thing?
It is a lot like that. It's a lot thinner metal, and on the top instead of the bottom.
Hey, don't fall through, little bridge. So that's where we start?
I'd say that's where we start.
All right.
And then we have some clamps coming later today to help do some fine detail.
Okay, cool. There is a penny RTV'd in and covering a rust hole. That reminds me, on my original Jeep, I even made a video about this. On these holes right here, the original ones, they weren't threaded, so I just took nickels and RTV'd them. And the little holes when you take the roof rack off. It's cheaper than using quarters.
It works.
Alright, so what we need to do is put this thing in between a tree, two trees actually. We're gonna pull on opposite sides, see if that works. So we've got Josh's Jeep, we'll use my Comanche, and then Judd's Jeep here. Alright, well we got all of our stuff situated. Josh's Jeep is over here, winch line, snatch block. My Jeep's over there, winch line, snatch block. Now you can see it looks like this side just kind of needs to be held in place, and this side needs to be pulled. Oh, you got your toys too?
Hammers. We got a 2x4. Milwaukee decided we worked too hard, so.
All right.
It's that awesomeness.
Look at that.
Relieve some pressure up in here.
That's my very first electric angle grinder. Well, I mean, battery operated angle grinder.
It's nice. I've used it.
Let's start pulling, I guess.
We decided to use the Comanche to pull with because it's a little more, the Warren's a little more precise in its pulling than the Badlands.
Hopefully we don't rip it in half.
So what we'll do is pull some, massage a little bit, pull some, massage a little bit. If we just try to pull it out, bad things are gonna happen. Keep going. A little more. Okay. A little more pull.
Does it look square yet? Watch, we go to put the window in and the window doesn't even fit.
This is a porta-power, and it's basically just a hydraulic jack with extensions. Cheap one off eBay, a couple $100. What we're gonna do is use it to push up right here to try to get these creases out of it. Now we could just take this higher and pull up. My worry is that it's gonna crease right here where this is. So we'll keep the tension here and then push up here.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Hope Josh knows what he's doing.
Josh pretends.
Dang it. Scratched the paint a little bit. We should have contacted those paintless dent repair guys. They could have fixed this, no problem.
These guys are amazing.
That looks fairly decent. So Josh ordered a clamp, but it's not here yet. What we've decided to do is come up with this ingenious method here of a welding clamp and a diamide clamp on top of that and a winch rope connected to that, and see if we can pull this out, because this section right here got crushed in kind of like that, and it needs to... I'm in the triangle of death. Look, there's triangles everywhere.
I know it's pulling it, but it doesn't feel like there's that much tension on it.
More tension. Pulling the body over. Alright, so we put the door on to check. Brought this thing back in, but we want to see where we're at, where we're sitting. And that's looking pretty sharp. The lines actually look pretty good. Now we gotta check this side. This is gonna be the real telling side over here.
Well, that's not great.
Hammer time. I think you missed.
I did.
There it is. That's not too bad once it gets underneath there.
Not quite right.
Alright, so more work yet to be done.
So just a little update of where we're at. This outside piece, there was no going to be easy way to fixing it with it attached. So drilled out all the spot welds, take it off. Now we're left with this bent mess, but that we can work with. This can get all straightened out now. Sorry I didn't show you any of that, but it was kind of tedious and very noisy. I've got it straightened out pretty good. Right in this area, the gap is a little bit tight, so just got to push that back up a little bit. The rest of it is looking pretty good. I don't know if you can see the gap gets kind of tight right in this area here too. So we need to find some way push from about right here to about right here to push it up. If those clamps that I ordered ever show up, we could put a clamp right here and pull this way while tapping in up here, and that should pull that out, but that's kind of splitting hairs. But other than that, that's coming out pretty straight. There's a bird in here, and he's driving me crazy. Get out of here. Awesome. I think he's gone. All right, now that that's good, I'm gonna figure out how to get that pushed up a little bit. You always want to tap when you're trying to bend stuff like this. It kind of relieves the tension in the metal you're trying to bend. That way when you let back off of it, it'll hopefully stay where you push it. Otherwise, if you just push it up, drop it back down, it's just gonna come back down. There we go.
All right, so I just got a Jeep from out in the woods. The goal, obviously, was to pull that, but I don't think we did a whole lot of research on this beforehand. We were gonna pull that off of this Jeep. And for one, there's a roll cage really tight to the body there, and for two, it's already smashed in as well.
It is, but it's nowhere near as bad.
It's still smashed. There's the piece that we need. I've been messaging around, pull apart. Actually, we remembered that my buddy Ben, which lives right down the street, has a junker Cherokee. The only thing we're not sure about is the later model year. So this is a 99? 2000? This is a 2000. Earlier model Cherokees are more squared off. They have these square edges. So we're not sure exactly how that's going to work with the A-pillar. This Cherokee actually is a earlier model Cherokee, but it's got a later model window trim because they used to have this little clips that would clip in, and you would have like a silver trim around the edges or a black trim. All right, let's go to Ben's. This is a fine machine right here. Hey look, you guys recognize that Dodge right there? It's got some water puddling in it. Let's take a look here. Oh, it's kind of in a bush. It does have an angle to it, but it's there. It's better than the one we got. Yeah, so there's like this bevel right here, whereas the later models, it's just a smooth curve. Probably wouldn't ever notice that, but if it's not the same on the interior, the same size and everything, I don't know.
Marketplace, this is $2,000.
I mean, it's a junker Jeep, but there's a lot of good parts on it. I don't feel like we should be pulling the windshield out and taking that piece because it's going to fill up with water really quick after that. Maybe we'll keep looking. You did that last night?
Yeah.
So last night after we got done working on that Jeep, we did a little bit of work on Josh's Jeep here. This thing was shoved up against the seat. This thing was shoved in. Did some decent body work there.
Yeah, this whole thing was folded under.
He's trying to make this Jeep nice again, which I don't understand why, but you also swung the hammer and missed.
Yes.
And what happened?
I hit my hand.
That thing is so swollen.
It's gonna turn really black and green and purple, kind of like your...
You need to take the rest of the day off. Maybe the week.
Ice it.
I think I just heard the lunch lady. Let's go see what we've got for lunch. Did we hear lunch? Oh, look at that.
I smell lunch.
I'm working on it.
Did you make these from scratch?
No. But they kind of exploded. Stop looking at them.
Tell them about the last episode where you tried to make tamales from scratch.
No, do you want me to cry?
For this whole incident, we saw on the trail that there was chocolate milk coming out of the front differential, so I wanted to fix that while we had it here. And you can see that is not good. It shouldn't be chocolate milk colored. I think what happened though is just the breather vent broke off wherever it was. And when it went through a mud hole, it just got water in it. Jeff, you got some shenanigans going on with this Jeep, but I got you, bro.
I'm back. Wasn't here yesterday because I thought I broke my hand. I didn't. It's still a little hurt. I can use it today while we're waiting for other parts for this. I'm gonna get these doors ready. So these door panels are gonna have to be used on that. Then you gotta get it ready to paint because that's obviously not the right color. Then on this door at least, when they took the door off, they just cut the harness. I'm gonna have to take the harness out of that door and put it on this door. Then I'm gonna check to make sure the motor works and the mirror work and all that stuff works okay. The lock cylinder will have to change from this door to this door. So we'll pull the molding off, pull the mirrors off, the door handle. Probably just tape off this trim here. Sneak peek. Okay, both of these doors are back off and they're stripped. They're really dirty. I think I'll get the molding off first and get all that cleaned up and then wash them. Supposed to have paint here today, and so maybe I can even get them painted up. That would be nice. Just gonna use a little putty knife paint scraper thing. I have a tool that goes on the air hammer to do this. Makes it real quick and easy, but it's at home, so this will work just fine. Anybody need a molding? On this other door, the molding's already gone, but it's got the letters on it. Should have done this to begin with, you big dummy. I went ahead and sanded down where all the scratch marks were. Got the rest of the stuff off. I'm gonna go ahead and take these outside, wash them. See you in a few. All right, doors have been washed, and let's talk paint prep for a second. Anytime you're doing body work, gonna paint, the first thing you should do, always, take them outside, wash them real good. Don't just wipe them down with lacquer thinner or a chemical like that, because all that's gonna do, while it will look clean, it's gonna melt that stuff into the paint. It's gonna melt the grease and the wax or whatever into the paint. And then you're gonna DA over that, and that's just gonna grind it down into. Take it outside and wash it, and when you wash it with Dawn dish soap. Don't use Fawn or Braun or something that says it's just like Dawn, because it's not. Use Dawn. It's not that much more expensive. It's $1. You're gonna go to paint and you're gonna get fish eyes, and you're gonna say, I don't know why it's fish eye, and it's because you were too cheap to take it outside and wash it with Dawn dish soap. It's like an extra $1. Don't be cheap. So I'm gonna blow these off with the air hose, go eat lunch, and let them dry out some more. I have them sitting up like this because there's drain holes in the bottom, and I want all the water that's inside the door to drain out. Got no lunch lady today, so instant lunch and flaming hot Doritos. Those are all cleaned. They are dry now. I am going to scuff down around the areas that are kind of screwed up like this. And that's not kind of screwed up. That's pretty screwed up and went down to bare metal in a lot of spots. Well, I've been waiting on those to dry after lunch, trying to learn something new. This is a vulcanizing machine. I'm gonna find some sandpaper, sand this down, shoot some primer on it. Just gonna use a Scotch-Brite for this. Some Duplicolor rattle can. You want to do it in a couple coats. Even regular primer, you want to do a couple coats. This door's been painted before. That's why it looks nice. It dried, sanded it down with the DA, wet 320. You can see it filled all the little scratches. Now what I'm gonna do is take the DA, I've got a foam pad on it. It'll let it go over the contours without digging in on edges or anything like that. All the big flat surfaces with that. Get any overspray off of it. Take the Scotch-Brite and anywhere it's shiny, make it unshiny. It's usually in the cracks and crevices, maybe a little in your door handle pockets, right around in there, anywhere in the cracks, in the corners.
How long have you been wearing those?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh?
What you mean wearing them? I grew them. I don't know where we left off. It's been a few days. Didn't know I had the camera down here, so I didn't film some of this. I have started jamming this in. I got it all scuffed down, all wiped down with a wax and grease remover. I've put on 2 coats so far. The coverage isn't great. Some red showing through in that one. The green one's covering a little bit better, but there is still some green. What I'm using is this Touch-Up XS Aerosol Jeep Grand Cherokee PS5 Silverstone. PS5 is the color code. You can find the color code. It'll say PMT down at the bottom. PE something. PE PA, PE4, and that's your color code. So this stuff was supposed to be a single stage, something like acrylic enamel. You don't need a clear, you just spray it on and it'll be glossy. That does not look very glossy to me. I have sent a message into the seller asking what kind of paint this is and what can I clear over it with, preferably an aerosol, because it's aerosol base coat or whatever that is. So if I don't have to drag out all the stuff, then whatever, we'll just aerosol over it and it'll be good enough. And I'm kind of curious to see how it'll come out. It's laying down nice, but anyways, I'll keep going with that. I have another can ordered because obviously it doesn't cover very well, so I'm definitely gonna need another can, and we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna put another coat or two on these and then let them dry out for the rest of the day. That light's really bright in the camera, isn't it?
Okay, ready?
You guys suck.